Halloween is directed by David Gordon Green, starring Jamie Lee Curtis, and this is the return of Michael Myers after 4 years after the first movie. This movie basically picks up from 40 years after Laurie Strode, I believe that's what her name is, after the events of what happens in the first Halloween movie. And now she is a completely different person from what she was from the first movie. She has a kid, and her kid has a daughter, so now she has a granddaughter. And it kind of explores how Michael Myers has affected her life over these 40 years. Now, I watched the original Halloween because I was gonna watch this one, and I actually really like it. I really like it. The third act is kind of 1978, if you know what I mean. But like the beginning, like, and the way it builds up to everything is kind of really dope. And like even the suspenseful moments are really good in the 1978. The long take from the beginning of the 1978, I was like, okay, this is what they were doing 40 years ago. You people that are still making movies, please, we need to catch up. All right. And to get into the things I liked about this movie, we'll kind of reflect on what I don't like about the original. Is the original that score is kind of overused to where like it doesn't feel as special, and it doesn't even feel like a score. It almost feels like a theme, so it's kind of used out of context. Whereas in this one, obviously there's a newer version but it's also like the original one that they use in this movie, and they use it more sparingly, so it kind of feels more special whenever it's used. I love the score in this movie, period. I think it was a really dope, chilling score. The bloody things you see in this movie are dope. I think for the R rating that was given to this was great. I love how they didn't do the fucking PG-13. I'm sorry, excuse my language, but it annoys me when you do a gory movie but you put in PG-13 because you want to sell tickets. It's dumb. Stop it. The gory things you see Michael do throughout this movie is dope. A lot of the times you'll see, well, not a lot of times, sometimes you won't see actually what he does. You'll just see the aftermath, and it's almost like, oh my gosh, now you're thinking about how did I even get there. I kind of like though how Laurie Strode is. I like how, she basically didn't just sit on her butt and just be like, oh, I'm gonna be scared now. It was really a Sarah Connor thing. Like, it literally was a Sarah Connor thing from Terminator 2. To where now she's this badass, and I really liked it. There's a lot of comedy in this movie. Obviously, when you're dealing with Danny McBride, you're gonna get some of those funny quips. There's a lot of quips throughout this whole movie that I really enjoyed. And I think just generally, not to use the F word, which is a lot of words that critics don't like using, but if the movie is fun, like in a big theater, like you were going to have fun watching this movie. But I'm gonna get into what I didn't like about this movie, which kind of hurts me because I really thought this movie was gonna be phenomenal. I love the first trailer, but it just, like somebody said, if you know who Scott Mantz is, he said this movie's as hollow as a pumpkin, which is very true. For example, Laurie's daughter, I did not like Judy Greer as her daughter for the most part. Up until like the last 15 minutes of this movie, I hated her character. There's literally a moment where she talks to her daughter. She's like, oh, I'm glad you got to see your grandmother. Let me tell you about what happened when I grew up. Literally, blank face into exposition. I was like, are you kidding me? Really? That lazy. I didn't like some of the dialogue in this movie. There's a lot of cringeworthy dialogue throughout this movie. There's some comedy for me that didn't work, in my opinion. Now, while I do love this long take that happens pretty much through the second act of this movie, I did not like what happened through it. To where in the first one, you see Michael kills people. There's like an objective to what he's doing. To where these killings, I'm like, okay, are you killing because you're like, you're rusty? Or you're just killing people just to kill people, And this movie wasn't focused. Now, what this movie should have done is pretty much what Terminator 2 should have done with the whole Sarah Connor thing, is making it more focused on the person that was affected and the person's child and all those who affect the original character, Sarah Connor being the person who was affected for Terminator 2, and Laurie Strode being the person who was affected in Halloween 2018. To where this movie's unfocused, to where we see like this forced high school romance between Laurie's granddaughter. And it's really only there just so the story can kind of move forward, which is kind of going to go into like one of my big flaws in this movie. To where a lot of these characters did not feel genuine. A lot of these characters did not feel like they should have been in the movie. Not that they should be in the movie, sorry, but it's like they don't fit. To where the only reason they were in this movie was to be ends to continue this movie. For example, there's a new doctor in this movie. Obviously, Dr. Loomis was the original doctor in the first Halloween movie. To where like there's this new doctor who is like this protege of Dr. Loomis, but I like what they did with him, except they didn't go all the way to where at the end of the day, his character was only there just so the movie didn't end. If this character was not there, this movie would have been cut by one act. But they're like, okay, we need to keep this movie going. So he does something. I'm like, oh, that's actually dope. But then it doesn't lead to anything. So it only felt like it was only there as a means to an end. It seems like they only put Laurie Strode's daughter, Judy Greer, in this movie because they wanted to show how Laurie, reacted to this whole thing, to where like I didn't even like her character. Her character was really only there so you're like, oh, so she was really extreme, with her kids. And her granddaughter is really only there just to connect the two because there's really no chemistry between Laurie Strode and Judy Greer's character. And I'm gonna be honest, you guys saw my Hereditary review. I'm not scared to be scared. Like I am very open to letting movies scare me. But towards the end of the third act, I was so non-scared. I literally had my legs crossed. I'm not lying to you. I had my legs crossed. I was comfortable. Not that it was not like, oh my god, but like it's more gory and there's less of that horror. There's less of that getting under your skin. And it kind of does take a while for this movie to kind of like get started. I'm like, what are we doing here? Like I remember when the movie started, I was like, oh, I don't like where this is going. Like it's not. I didn't see where it was going for like a little bit, and I really wish the movie got faster. All in all, I love the score. I think what they do with Laurie Strode is a pretty cool thing, even though it's kind of the Sarah Connor ripoff. There's just so many things wrong with the script that just kind of pissed me off. I love the cinematography, by the way. It has a lot of homages to like the old one. There's also a lot of things that they do to pay homage to the original 1978 Halloween, to where like I really like this movie in an audience. But the more I think about it, I watched this on Tuesday, I'm recording this on Saturday. Like I really have been not wanting to talk about this movie. And the more I think about it, the more of a reason why I'm going to give Halloween 2018 a 5. Okay guys, I saw mid-90s, okay? Let's just say the review is coming, damn it. I was supposed to see Old Man the Gun today, but things fell through. Still need to see A Star Is Born. I see Bohemian Rhapsody was at Tuesday. I see Can You Ever Forgive Me next Monday, the film Melissa McCarthy. I am traveling all the way back to Houston. I go to school in Dallas. It's like a 4-hour drive for the Houston Film Festival, just so I can see Roma. So I see that the first weekend in November, so expect a review very early from me. I'll see Widows hopefully around then. Hopefully I'll see Creed is also coming up. Lots of movies. Oscar season starting. I need to get all these little movies out the way. Halloween, I really wish this was better. Okay, I'll see you guys later. Peace.